What's happening, ladies and gentlemen? This is Min from Architecture Inspirations. Today I'm going to show you some wood material tips and tricks in Enscape for Sketchup. Let's get started. First, I'm going to launch the material editor by clicking this button here. Next, I can press B to bring up the paint bucket tool, then hold down Alt and click on a surface to sample its material. Now you will see a number of options on the material editor. Since this is a wood material, I'm going to leave the material type as generic. Next, I'm going to add a bump map. The easiest way to add a bump map is by using the Albedo map. This option will let Enscape create a bump map based on your original texture. After you have created a bump map, you can use the slider here to adjust the intensity. If it's hard to see how the bump map is affecting our material, then go up here and fade out the albedo map like so to make it easier to see the effect. Now let's take a closer look at the bumps. You can see that the grid lines are protruding upward when they're supposed to be pushed downward. So to flip the direction, I can simply change the value from negative to positive. There we go. The second way to add a bump map is by loading a custom map. So I'm going to click here to remove the current map, and then click here to load a custom map. This wood flooring material was actually downloaded from polygon.com, which is a website for PBR Materials. Here are some other websites to download PBR Materials for free. I will leave the links in the description box below as well. When downloading PBR Materials such as this one, they usually come with several types of maps. You can see that this one doesn't have a bump map, but it has a normal map, which serves the same function. The only difference is that while the bump map is black and white, the normal map uses RGB values. So I'm going to load it in and adjust the slider to see how it looks. There it is. The effect of the normal map is more subtle, but it works just fine. However, I think I like the other option more, so I can click here to remove the current bump map and click here to use the albedo map again. There we go. Once I'm happy with that, I can go up here and turn off the image fade option. It's looking good so far. Next is the reflections. You can add reflections to a material simply by adjusting the roughness slider here. The lower the roughness value, the more reflective the material. Similar to the bump map, you can also add a custom roughness or reflection map using this button here. Or you can use the albedo to create it. But first, I'm going to use the image fade option again to override the texture map. I'm also going to turn down the bump map to make it easier to see the full effect of the roughness map. You can see that the current reflection is very consistent. But when I use the albedo map to create the roughness map, right away, you can see that the reflection is more detailed and more realistic. However, it's not very reflective, so to adjust the reflection, you can click on the map or go to the roughness tab here and make adjustment using the brightness slider. The darker the map, the more reflective the material. You can also use this option to invert the color of the map as well. When making adjustments, you can hold Shift and drag the right mouse button to change the time of day. This will allow you to study the material in different lighting conditions. There we go. Once I'm happy with that, I can add the bumps again and turn off the image fade option. Once again, I'm going to use the time of day option to study my material. It looks pretty good. Another cool tip is to use the Tint Color option to colorize your texture. For example, I can turn this brown color wood flooring to a black one. I find this method works really well on neutral color texture maps such as this gray wood plank material here. Next is Self-illumination. This is great for creating emissive material such as this firewood material here. You can also change the luminance intensity and color as well. Pretty cool, huh? There we go. Now just use these tips to create realistic Enscape materials. The final tip is to save this material to create your own library of Enscape ready materials. First, pick a material that you want to save and locate it in the current material library in your model. Then right-click and select Save As. Before you save it, go to this location on your computer. This is where the Sketchup materials library is located. Now I'm going to create a new folder and name it to Enscape Ready, but you can name yours whatever you want. Then finally, I'm going to save my material in there. I can repeat this step for any materials I want to save. And the next time I open up SketchUp, I can simply navigate to my custom folder and quickly use these materials for my model. If you open the Enscape material editor, you can see that all of the settings and maps have been saved. This tip will help increase your Enscape workflow by a whole lot because you don't have to optimize your materials for Enscape every time. And that is all for today, guys. Leave a like if you enjoyed the video, comment below if you have any questions. Stay inspired, guys, and I'll see you next time.